What's up, guys? So I'm here in LA. We are just getting ready this morning to go out and do some more exciting things. I wanted to do an episode yesterday where I was covering my travels and everything that I had going on. But the truth is, when I got here, we didn't really do anything other than take a couple photos and go get dinner. So I don't have much content from yesterday other than this travel montage. So what I thought I would do with you guys this morning so that I have something for today is go through how I pick a spot to fly, because this is something I've been asked a lot. I'm pretty good at finding cool spots to fly. I'm not so good at deciding whether or not they're cool from these techniques, but I can show you some of the ways that I go about finding locations. Okay, so we are going to just start off with Google Maps here. You know what? I don't want to do this for a city that I've been to or a city that I've flown before. So, Tommy, give me a city. Any city that we've not been to. Somewhere like all of the U.S. Any random city.
All of the U.S. Okay. Seattle.
Seattle. Awesome. Perfect. So, starting off here with Google Maps, one of the easiest things, and I'm sure most of you have already figured this out, that you can do with Google Maps is you can zoom in. And looking at just the map view, you've got green areas. And those green areas are going to be either parks or cemeteries. So the cemeteries don't really help you so much, but a lot of these parks are very flyable. So you kind of zoom in, check out a little green area. You can switch over to satellite view here and get a good idea of, is this flyable or not? So on this one, you can see it's mostly trees. You got some clearing with some trees. And that's about as specific as I get from the maps. I'm like, that looks like there's enough room to go underneath the trees to fly around. You got a bit of an open field. It's just a way to locate the parks, and then you can analyze them with the satellite view. Another little tool that you can do is drop a pin and check out the street view. So we can get a look at what this park looks like. So from the satellite view, all we saw was that there were some trees. But here, looking at the street view, we can see that a lot of those trees have bushes and stuff underneath them, so it wouldn't have been any good to fly. So once you found, say, a park and you want to know more information, maybe more than you could get from the street view, you can go into Google the park, and click images here, and we're going to get all the a lot of users created content, pictures of the place. See, now we know what it looks like at sunset. We have an idea of about how crowded it is on typical days when you have nice sunny weather. So it looks like it's a popular beach destination. So while the beach may have looked cool from the satellite images, we now know that if you go there on a nice day, there's going to be a ton of people and you're probably not going to get to fly. So a lot of this is just trying to gather as much information from the internet before going into a location as you can. Eventually, though, you're going to find a point from researching this through Google Images, Street View, and also and satellite images, that you've gotten all the information you can get from the internet and you have to go to the location. And sometimes everything looks great and you show up and it's no fun to fly, or you show up and it's full of people, or it's a dog park, or something that you just couldn't have imagined from all of your research. Looking at Google Maps is great for at the map view is great for finding parks, but it's not going to lead you to cool buildings, office parks, or abandoned spots. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have probably Googled abandoned and then the city. So if we do that, abandoned Seattle, it's going to turn up a lot of really cool pictures, but not a lot of info. If you search for abandoned or urbex, you're going to find a lot of people that like to go to these abandoned places and take photos. But one of the things that they don't want to do is share with you how they found it or where it is, for good reason. They don't want a bunch of people going into these spots and ruining it for everybody else. And you shouldn't do that. You should always be respectful. Don't litter. Don't engage in illegal activities. Kind of respect these spots. But also we want to get in there and fly and get some good footage, of course. So a lot of the stuff that you find when you search for abandoned or urbex are going to be spots that are closed down, that aren't current. A great tool that I've found for finding more current situations is nobody talks in official circles about abandoned. They talk about vacant. If you search for vacant in the city, you're going to find news articles where the city council is having discussions about this troublesome property, which typically means that it's empty. They don't know what to do with it, and people are getting into it because they're complaining about it. So those are going to be your best bets. So let's go ahead and search vacant Seattle and vacant land, vacant buildings, and go to news. There we go. Seattle's vacant buildings creating big problems. That's the news article we're looking for. Okay, see, this is a good find. So last year, Seattle Fire Department responded to a bunch of fires. That's bad. One of those was the former Times building. Now we have found an abandoned office building in Seattle. Ooh. Well, that looks interesting. It looks like it may be mid-demolition, but mid-demolition can be fun to fly. So we might be a little bit late on this one, or we might be just in time. It's hard to say without going and checking it out. Again, it's going to be one of those things that you can only find so much information on the internet, and eventually you're going to have to go to these locations to figure out if you can go in, if it's going to be any fun to fly. So abandoned, urbex, vacant, these are all good Google search terms to look for, and use Google image search like we've done. Search news for vacant, and another way to use Google Maps to find locations that are not just your parks and stuff. When you're looking for abandoned spots to fly, these are usually the derelict structures from older manufacturing, dairies, storage locations like warehouses or facilities for manufacturing. The thing that most of these places have in common is, they're from like the turn of the century to the 40s. And at that time, most of these products were transported by train. So a lot of these derelict structures are going to be really close to the railroad lines. So what I'll do is I'll go and find the, like right here is the Union Pacific yard in Seattle. And you're going to have a lot of railroad lines coming and going into there and out of there, and all along every one of those lines are going to be old manufacturing locations around Seattle. Some of them are still going to be operating, some of them are going to be shut down, but what we can do is we can just go here and so just drag the screen, follow these railroad tracks. Okay, that's an airport, so we don't want to go that way. Let's go the other way. Now, one of the things that I'm looking for as I scroll down along this the railroad tracks, a lot of these lots, you can see they have cars, which means that it's going to be still open for business. An empty parking lot doesn't mean that it's completely abandoned, but it's a good sign. If it's got cars, it's probably not abandoned. All right, well, that pretty much covers the techniques that I use for looking for a spot. Now, I know that we didn't necessarily have the most success here. I'm trying to cram a lot of searching into 10 minutes worth of time to record this for you guys, and it was bound to not be extremely successful. We did find some cool spots and a trip that I want to make now, so look out, Seattle. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Click that like button, subscribe, and come back again tomorrow. I'll have an all-new video for you. And thanks, guys. See you next time.